Learning objectives. In this lesson, you would be learning about privacy and cyber forensics and the following in detail. Law relating and privacy, common law privacy, common law privacy, constitutional law, legal liability for mistakes. Privacy law. In this session, we are going to learn about privacy law. It refers to the laws which deal with the regulation of personal information about individuals which can be collected by governments and other public as well as private organizations and their storage and use. Privacy law classification. The privacy law is classified as two types. They are general privacy laws, specific privacy laws. General privacy laws. General privacy law is one of the privacy law. They have overall bearing on the personal information of individuals. They affect the policies that govern many different areas of information. Specific privacy laws. These laws are designed to regulate specific types of information. Some examples include health privacy laws, financial privacy laws, online privacy laws, communication privacy laws, and information privacy laws. Privacy laws in Australia. The current state of privacy law in Australia includes federal and state information privacy legislation, some sector-specific privacy legislation at state level, regulation of the media, and some criminal sanctions. The Australian Law Reform Commission recommended the enactment of a statutory cause of action for invasion of privacy. Privacy laws in Brazil. A Brazilian citizen's privacy is protected by the country's constitution, which states the intimacy, private life, honor, and image of the people are inviolable, with assured right to indemnification by the material or moral damage resulting from its violation. Privacy laws in Canada. In Canada, the Federal Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, PIPEDA, governs the collection, use and disclosure of personal information in connection with commercial activities and personal information about employees of federal works, undertakings and businesses. It generally does not apply to non-commercial organizations or provincial governments. Personal information collected, used and disclosed by the federal government. Previously, the Information Technology Amendment Act added the following two sections relating to privacy. Section 43A, which deals with implementation of reasonable security practices for sensitive personal information. It provides for the compensation of the person affected by wrongful loss or wrongful gain. Section 72A, which provides for imprisonment for a period up to 3 years or fine up to 5 lakhs for a person. Privacy laws in Mexico. In July 5, 2010, Mexico passed a new privacy package focused on treatment of personal data by private entities. The key elements included were requirement of all private entities who gather personal data to publish their privacy policy in accordance to the law, set fines for up to 16 million Mexican dollars in case of violation of the law, set prison penalties to serious violations. Privacy laws in New Zealand. In New Zealand, the Privacy Act 1993 sets out principles in relation to the collection, use, disclosure, security. It also in relation to access the personal information. The introduction into the New Zealand common law of a tort covering invasion of personal privacy. Complaints about privacy are considered by Privacy Commissioner. Privacy laws in Republic of China, Taiwan. Computer Processed Personal Information Protection Act was enacted in 1995 in order to protect personal information processed by the computers. The general provisions specify the purpose of the law, defined crucial terms, prohibited individuals from waiving certain rights. Privacy laws in Russia. Data protection principles and legislation in the Russian Federation in English. Online database of the Russian laws in Russian. Federal Service on Supervising in the Sphere of Communications, Information Technology and Mass Media in Russian. Privacy laws in United Kingdom. As a member of the European Convention of Human Rights, the United Kingdom adheres to Article 8 ECHR, which guarantees a right to respect for privacy and family life from state parties, subject to restrictions as prescribed by law and necessary in a democratic society towards a legitimate aim. Privacy laws in United States. The right to privacy is not explicitly stated anywhere in the Bill of Rights. The idea of a right to privacy was first addressed within a legal context in the United States. Louis Brandeis, later a Supreme Court Justice, and another young lawyer, Samuel D. Warren, published an article called The Right to Privacy in Harvard Law Review in 1890, arguing that US Constitution and common law allowed for the deduction of general right to privacy. Privacy laws in Greece. Taking picture of a person in public space requires consent. Taking photo or video of someone or drawing them in a painting constitutes an illegal act by itself, according to Article 57 of the Greek Civil Code. The law assumes that consent has been provided silently if the depicted person has been paid for the photography session. The law 2472 of 1997 also applies in many circumstances, even in photographing. Greece also requires photographers to obtain a government permit before photographing people participating in political protest in public places. Constitutional law. Constitutional law is the body of law which defines the relationship of different entities within a state, namely the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Human rights. Human rights or civil liberties form a crucial part of a country's constitution and govern the rights of the individual against the state. Most jurisdictions, like the United States and France, they have a codified constitution with the Bill of Rights. Legislative procedure. Another main function of constitutions may be described the procedure by which parliaments may legislate. For instance, special majorities may be required to alter the constitution. In bicameral legislatures, there may be a process laid out for second or third readings of bills before a new law can enter into force. Alternatively, there may further be requirements for maximum terms, that a government can keep power before holding an election. Study of constitutional law. Constitutional law is a major focus of legal studies and research. For example, most law students in the United States are required to take a class in constitutional law during their first year. Several law journals are devoted to the discussion of constitutional issues. The rule of law. Dicey identified three essential elements of British Constitution rule of law: absence of arbitrary power, equality before the law. The Constitution is a result of the ordinary law of the land. Legal liability. Legal liability is a legal bound obligation to pay debts. It utilizes the rule of law. Mistake classification. The mistake is classified into two types. They are mistake of law, mistake of fact. Mistake of law. When a party enters into a contract without the knowledge of the law, the contract is affected by such mistakes, but it is not void. A contract is not voidable because it was caused by a mistake. The reason here is that ignorance of law is not an excuse at all. Mistake of fact, where both the parties enter into an agreement are under a mistake as to a matter of fact essential to the agreement. The agreement is void. Common mistake. A common mistake is occurring in some times, where both the parties hold the same mistaken belief of the facts. Conclusion. Thus, we have learnt about privacy and cyber forensics and the following in detail: law relating and privacy, common law privacy, privacy, common law privacy, constitutional law, legal liability for mistakes.